Chris Algieri in the house, fashionable per usual. Yeah, let's go straight into Broner Vargas, man. Who'd you have winning that fight? I know people had it split. How'd you have it?
I honestly didn't really sit down to score it. I watched it as a fan with me, Daniel and Dan Jacobs, and I watched it.
I know Dan's a big Broner guy.
But I mean,
he thought Broner got robbed against Mikey.
Okay, but I thought it was a damn good fight. A lot better than I expected it to be. I honestly would have to sit down and go because it was a very close fight either way. I even said at the end, I was like, listen, I would let that fight go either way, but I'd have to sit down and really score each round really properly.
Did anybody show you something that you didn't know about them?
No, actually. I know Jesse's tough, and I would say that Jesse's nothing else. He's consistent. He was consistent throughout. He kept pushing, and Broner is the opposite, completely inconsistent. Sometimes flashes of genius, sometimes doing nothing. So it was, both guys kind of lived up to what they're known for.
I know once upon a time, well, I mean, I imagine it's still the same thing. You kind of wanted a Broner fight, right?
I've always wanted fights with all the top guys. So, you always sit there, as a fighter, you're always going to sit there and watch and be like, oh, they could do this, I could do this, I would do that. And you always picture yourself in there. It's just one of those things.
All right. Looking at it from, the sports nutritionist side, who did the 144 favor, if anybody? Or did you see anything his power's not there because he's a little bit, was there anything you saw? Because some people made that claim for Jesse, if Broner would have fought him at 47, we would have saw the knockout power that he had with Saddam Ali.
I think that the fighting lower probably helped Broner. I thought that from the outset. But seeing them in the ring, I'm not sure if that's true. I bet you Jesse probably made the weight easier than Adrian did, but it's hard to say. It's kind of hard thing to assess from the outside.
What's the power scale of those two guys? Because some people were saying, these guys both aren't punchers, or is it that they have great chins?
They both definitely have great chins. In terms of their power, it's hard to say. Jesse's been flashing here and there. I don't think he's a huge puncher in either case, but lately he has definitely shown more power. Broner, huge puncher at lightweight, not as much in the 40s and 47s, but again, hard to say. I mean, Broner's definitely sharp, and it seemed like he was landing the harder shots.
Former opponent of yours fought that same day, Amir Khan, fought your guy Phil Greco. I thought it was stopped a little early. I don't know. I mean, I think it was just messy. I think it was one of those things where you have to kind of adjust to the speed and timing, but for whatever it was a stoppage. Phil Greco says that Amir Khan hits harder than Errol Spence. Now, you fought both of those guys also. I want to know your opinion.
People ask me all the time, Amir Khan, how's his power? He hits hard. He hits very hard. He's very fast. People have said to me, oh, he doesn't hit hard, right? I'm like, no, he hits hard. He's very, very fast. It's hard to, the thing, there's always the talk about comparing power. You can't do that.
Yeah.
And anyone who's been in there really knows the difference in people's powers. You can't really explain them. Because you got a guy, speed, quickness, power, strength, how they hit you, combinations, timing, so many different variables of what makes a knockout puncher. It's really hard to compare. Definitely different kinds of power to it.
Why do you think guys come out? Because I think, it was Leonard Bundle. He had the same thing to say about Spence also. He said Thurman hit harder than Spence, but Spence was the one that knocked him out. Thurman only knocked him down. Is from the fans' perspective, when they say, oh, well, one guy knocked out the other guy, is...
That's easy to say on paper. Be like, oh, this guy knocked out this guy, but he didn't knock out that guy, so he's got more power. It's not true.
Because I know you told me the Provodnikov hits harder than Spence.
Yeah. Provodnikov, I mean, the power that guy, showed in spots in the fight was crazy, but then other times not so much. So this consistency factor too. Spence throws a lot of punches, and he lands a lot of punches. So, that adds up to stoppages.